Hello players, today we're going to be looking at the KL130 smart light from TPLink. So a video on a light bulb, that's not very exciting, is it? Well, light bulbs can be exciting and smart light bulbs are the future. So we'll get in here. I can't imagine this unboxing being anything too special, but it does seem very well packaged for a light bulb. What have we got in here? We've got some documentation, if you need some help, some more documentation, a quick start guide, and a light bulb. Yeah. As far as light bulbs go, it's a pretty nice looking light bulb. There's some textured blue texture stuff there. So this can change brightness, temperature and color, and the one before it, I think it's the 110, can only do temperature. It's compatible with all major voice assistants, so your Alexa and your Google Home. It has things like schedules, routines and power save. If you're a bit more advanced, it works great with things like Home Assistant, so pretty much everything that you'd expect from a smart light bulb. And it's also pretty robust. The one in the living room has stood up to quite a few hits from the Oculus Touch controllers. The studio lights have been turned off, which is why we have these horrible shadows, but we'll just run through the setup pretty quickly. That's done in the Kasa app from TP-Link, which you get on the iOS or Google Play Store. And I have already signed up with the TP-Link Kasa app before, so you will have to go through a registration process once in order to get everything going. But once you're signed up, it's pretty easy to add all sorts of things: cameras, smart plugs, smart lights, etc. So we're going to go for a smart light, the LB100 series, and these are Wi-Fi light bulbs, which means they don't need a hub. So I'll get to that in a minute and why that's important or not important for you. So we'll just go through this, connecting a smart bulb. It should be a fairly straightforward process of just selecting your Wi-Fi network and carrying on from there. In this case, if you're already on your Wi-Fi network, it may even do it automatically for you. So recommended network is the one that we're on. Choose the password. That'll be your Wi-Fi password. And there we go. It turns your room into Amsterdam to let you know that it's ready. We're going to call it outside light. Now this is going to be our, oh actually yeah, we might as well call it, well it really is, the porch, if you can spell, porch light. Because this porch light is going outside. So I've got an automation set up so that at midnight or just 5 minutes past midnight, all the lights in the house turn off. So in case we've forgotten any, it doesn't matter. And the porch light is the one that we live on the most, or the one that I live on the most. And we don't realize until like the next night, evening, when we look out and go, oh, the light's on. Yeah, that's been on for a day or so. But not anymore. We can set this up to turn off at midnight every single night. Okay, so we've added porch light. Now we can turn it on and off. It's usually quite responsive. There we go. We go in here. And oh, we've got shortcuts. This is new, I haven't used this. So I normally tie this in with Home Assistant and to get it to do everything. So I don't really use this app that much. Most of it's done by voice control or via Home Assistant. If you want to learn more about Home Assistant, it's kind of a central hub for all of your smart gadgets to talk to each other in this like one central place. So even if things aren't really compatible with, say, Alexa or Google Home, Home Assistant can talk to those things via and just tie everything in. Do a YouTube search for Home Assistant if you're interested in that. It's a bit more work, but this does work directly with and Google Home as well. Okay, so we can do the power. We can adjust the default colors here. We can go into brightness and turn that all the way down, all the way up. We go into white, and this one does have the color temperature for white, so you can have a cold white or a warm white. It does tell you the color temperature there, so we can set it to 2500K all the way down to 9000K, up to 9000K rather. And they've got the color wheel, so you can pick any color from the RGB spectrum. So you can go into the presets and you can set up to 4 different colors for your preset. So we can have this one as a yellow one at 50% brightness, or 42% brightness, and that will do that when we hit that preset. So they're just quick shortcuts there. Okay, and then the schedule. So you can add a schedule, you can turn off, turn on at any particular time. You can get it to turn off or on at sunrise. You can do gradual increase in brightness. Another cool thing is that it shows you your usage. So yeah, we've used it not very much today, but if we go into the other light that I have, which is the slightly older model, that also has the usage, and you can see it gives you the usage for today, past 7 days, and the average in the past 30 days as well. So the old light bulb is consuming on average about 0.23 kilowatts per day, which is absolutely fine. LED light bulbs, very, very efficient. So why would you pick the TP-Link over, say, something like the Philips Hue? Well, there's a couple of reasons. The first is the price. This light bulb is £25, and that is a lot cheaper than the Philips Hue stuff. Actually, I'm going to get those studio lights back because that shadow's getting on my nerves. Aha, much better. Yeah, so as I was saying, the Philips Hue is about 45 versus 25 for this. And I mean, for a light bulb, that's pretty expensive for a light bulb as it is, so you want to try and get the cost down as much as possible. The other reason is this doesn't need a hub. This works on your Wi-Fi, so it just connects to your router and away you go. Now you can do other things like put it on a separate VLAN if you're concerned about security for IoT devices and things like that. But yeah, it doesn't need a separate hub. One of the most important things for me is that it has full local control, which means that if your internet connection goes down, then this stays active. And as long as your home network is still up, this will still be controllable via the app, even if you have no internet access, but you still connected to your Wi-Fi, of course. So it doesn't need to phone home, it doesn't need to call back to TP-Link like a lot of the others do. They need to phone home in order to say, hey, make me orange and things like that. This doesn't need it. Of course, if you lost internet, you've lost a... Oh, baby. But that's a separate issue. One of the biggest problems with all smart light bulbs is the switches. They have to be on all the time for this to work. If someone flips a switch, this is a dumb light again. But there are some solutions for that. Philips Hue, on that side of things, does have some nice solutions for covering up old light switches. I have actually gone for a slightly different solution, which I'll get to in another video. I'm going to do a tour of my home automation setup, so get subbed for that, and I'll show you what we did to combat the light switch problem. So, should you run out and buy a TP-Link light bulb if your house is already filled with Philips Hue stuff? The answer to that is, of course, no, because the Philips Hue stuff is really expensive and it works really well. So if you already have Philips Hue and you only need a couple more light bulbs to complete your house collection, then stick with it. There's no reason to switch to this from Hue or any other solution. But if you're buying lights for the first time, then this is a pretty good option to consider. It has pretty much all the feature sets of Philips Hue and is at a lower price point and doesn't need a hub. There are some missing features like syncing with other lights and things like that. But in terms of basic core functionality, this is a pretty good run for the money. So thanks for watching, guys, and until next time, keep playing.